Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right. We're good. Audio sounds good. We know what we're doing. Check.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. My shit sound good?
Yeah, it sounds good. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Took the whole team to the promised land. Rest in peace to my father, man. Wish you could have seen the plan.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Two Man Game podcast. This is episode 9. We've been gone for a while, I know, but we're finally back and we're looking to pick things up. I mean, just getting down to it. You know who I am. I'm Dante. This is KC. We got a great show for you guys today. We're going to start off with a question that I have. We didn't go over this before the show, so it's a really genuine answer from him. I'm hoping he has a good take. Usually he doesn't, but we'll see about that. But I mean, like I said, we got a good show. We get into the standings. It's the great time of the year. Obviously the playoffs, man. Playoff push, last 20 games of the season. We're going to get into the trades. We didn't talk about that. It's been a while, but we still didn't, talk about Harden to Philly and Ben Simmons to New York. We're going to talk about the Nets being in the 8th seed, that play-in tournament. Do they like that? Does it favor them or whatnot? Talk about the Warriors' struggles. I know you got a lot to talk about that. See what you see as a fan. And then the MVP race, man. It's going to be hot. So start us off, man. We got a lot to go. Start us off.
Well, you had that question, so
I do have that question. Yes. Okay. All right. So I was thinking about this question earlier today. I was thinking about, like team names and stuff like that, right? And so I want you to give me your top 5. What do you think the top 5 like best team names, like first and last name combined? What do you think the top 5 is?
In NBA?
In the NBA, yep. Top 5 first and last team names. Like it just flows together.
Okay. Well, this isn't this. All right, Milwaukee Bucks. That sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Fuck.
See, we got him.
Memphis Grizzlies sounds pretty good.
That is tough.
And
I will say the Vancouver Grizzlies sounded better before they moved to Memphis.
Yeah,
I think Vancouver was really tough.
Yeah. Toronto Raptors. That sounds like pretty.
That was in my top 5. Yep.
It like rolls off the tongue pretty good. Dallas Mavericks. I feel like that sounds like that goes Dallas pretty. Mavericks. Yeah, like that goes pretty well together.
Okay.
And what? So one more. Shit, bro.
I'll give you one. That's on my top 5.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Chicago Bulls.
Chicago Bulls. Yeah.
I got Chicago first on this list because I think with the history of Chicago, you know how it's like known for being a tough city.
Yeah.
It's like the South Side, we know what that's about. And then you combine that with the Bulls. That's like, I feel like it's just like the perfect name for that city.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, like, I see.
That's like perfect.
Yeah, Damn, you really caught me off guard with that one.
Yeah, I did.
That was a good one. That was a good question. All right, well, I answered that. But let's get into some real NBA talk. So getting into the standings right now, the standings are really it's all close right now. So I'm gonna read them off to you. We'll talk a little bit about it, what we think about it and whatnot. So right now, Miami Heat number 1, Philadelphia 76ers number 2, Milwaukee number 3, Chicago number 4, Boston number 5, Cleveland number 6. Then we got the play-in slots. Toronto number 7, Nets number 8, Hawks number 9. Then we got the Hornets at 10. So that's the Eastern Conference. Then we move to the West. We got the Suns number 1, Warriors number 2, Grizzlies at 3, but right behind them. Only one game back in the loss column. So that's getting tight. We got the Jazz at 4, the Mavericks at 5, and they're creeping up on them. We got the Nuggets quietly at number 6. We got Minnesota at 7, good for Minnesota. We got the Clippers. Who would have thought the Clippers at 8 right now with all their injuries? Good for them. We got the Lakers at 9. That's been a shit show. And then we got the Pelicans at 10 with the CJ coming to New Orleans. That's been big for them, 4-0 since the break. So after reading off those standings, what do you take from all of it?
My initial thoughts are the 5 seeds. So that's the Celtics and the Mavs. They're really playing good basketball compared to late December. I would have never had the Celtics going anywhere. And the fact that they have the best defensive rating in the league shows you that they really started to step up the intensity on defense.
Yeah.
And this all goes back to, remember the beginning of the season when Marcus Smart got on Tatum and Brown about not making passing plays. The ball. Right. I feel like ever since then, when I watch the Celtics play, they're just playing harder. And credit to Marcus Smart for actually, because that takes a lot to call out the best players on the team. Like
the star players.
The star players, And you don't see that a lot. You know, if you do, if it does happen, it's behind closed doors. Scenes. Right. Yeah.
But the fact that he about it.
Exactly. The fact that he came out and said, okay, you guys, you got to step it up. Like that really speaks volumes on his leadership. So and then the Mavericks, like the roster, I don't see them going anywhere. Obviously, with just Luka, I feel like you need that second dynamic player in the the league today. But the fact that they're right there at number 5, 38-25, playing good ball, that shows you what Luka's about. So initially, that's what speaks or stands out to me. The T-Wolves, man, they're playing good ball. I like the T-Wolves a lot.
Yeah. I like what they've been doing.
Yeah.
They had a big win against the Warriors a couple nights back. So they're a good team. They're a good team. I like.
They put up a lot of points. Yeah, they put up a lot of points. And then again in the East, man, the Nets. I don't understand how they have the 3rd best odds of winning the championship. That's just something. I don't know if you saw. I tweeted about that yesterday. I don't understand why. With 2 part-time players, basically. And then, we got 20 games left. So how are you going to ramp Ben Simmons up to be playing playoff minutes?
Basketball, after in 20 games or less.
Right, in 20 games less. And he's not even playing March 10th at Philly. So that shows you, like, he's just not there yet. I mean, whatever it may be, mentally, or I know his back was killing him or something like that. But I just don't see them going anywhere.
It's no, I feel you on that. I was hoping he would at least ramp it up a little bit and possibly make it happen for that March 10th game against Philly. Might as well get it off your back, right?
Right.
Just get it done with, and then you won't have to wait on the anticipation and all that later on down the road. Looking at the standings though, Miami's sitting at number 1. I expected them to be a good playoff team with their culture, their players. They have a good roster, but the way they've been playing lately, it's just like crazy. They get the best out of their players every night. It's impressive because just like a couple of nights ago, no Lowry, Butler didn't have a good game. You still almost beat the Bucks. It came down to like Jimmy Butler might have gone fouled at the end of that game. It was close, but they also had some bad turnovers at the end of the game.
Yeah, they blew that game.
Yeah, but that's without PJ Tucker and Lowry playing.
Right.
I love the addition of PJ Tucker for them. And they've just been having guys in and out of the lineup all year, and they just continue to win. So sitting at number 1, that's definitely it stands out to me. And then Philly at number 2 with the addition of James Harden. Obviously, that was a big move for them. But they were playing good basketball before they traded for him. So it was just, you get a guy who's going to come in and bring you 20 and 10. on a nightly basis, that's
you
gonna
take that.
yeah, that's gonna be really, really good for your team.
Yeah.
Also, the Mavs, like you said too, they've been really good. I got a chance to watch them the last couple nights when they played the Warriors and got to see Luka just fucking do his thing.
Yeah, what do you have? 41.
Yeah, he had
They played?
41.
Yep.
Yeah, he had like 19 the first quarter. It was a hell of a game by him, and he closed the game just cooking Steph Curry, and then the 2 nights before that, he did the same thing to LeBron.
Yeah, cooking Bron. Yeah.
So it's impressive. The dude's young as hell too, and he's already a top 10 player. It's the league's going to be his for a while. So to see them sit at 5 right now with the roster, they don't really have necessarily that like partner with him who's gonna like kind of take you over the top. I think all their players though are guys who fit what they're trying to do necessarily. Luka is going to have the ball in his hands a lot of the times, making plays for himself and others. And then you have Brunson, Dinwiddie, who could make plays off the dribble for themselves and for others as well. So, they play really good defense. They play really hard. Jason Kidd has done an amazing job for the Mavericks. He's done really great stuff for them. And also the Hawks at 9. I had them as like the top 4 seed this year.
I did too. I had them at 4. It's
unfortunate. If they could get hot, I don't know if they'll catch Cleveland. I see them probably being a playing team, but that's a spooky playing team.
Yeah.
And then hats off to the Ty Lue and the Clippers, because they've been playing fucking great basketball. 3 games over 500 right now. If you would have told me no Kawhi or PG and they're 34 and 31, and Norman Powell hasn't been playing either for them.
Right.
That's another coach who's been getting the most out of their players, and a lot of guys taking advantage of the opportunity. So kudos to the Clippers for playing good basketball. Also, the Pelicans, 4-0 since the All-Star break. CJ McCollum has been averaging about like 26 since he got since he's been on their team, and it's him and Brandon Ingram. That's a good 1-2 punch. Herb Jones is a hell of a defender. Big Valanciunas. I probably butchered his name. He's a double guy who could stretch out the floor, shoot threes a little bit too.
Imagine if they can get Zion back.
They got to boost their bench a little bit. Their bench isn't like too good, but their starting 5, I think their starting 5 could play with almost anybody in the league. If Zion's healthy. So hopefully, I just got an update today saying that
he's back with the team.
Yeah, that he's back with the team. So that's good to hear. I don't like to see these young players sitting out, and he's been getting bashed a lot for what's been going on with him. So hopefully we get to see Zion Williamson on the court sooner than later. So that's all I had what really stood out to me. So,
and y'all know I love my side notes. You mentioned, Luka had scored 19 the first against Golden State. He leads the league in first quarter scoring. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense that he's going crazy. I've seen him have some crazy first quarters this year. So, makes sense.
I love Luka's game. I love this fucking game.
I do think he needs to shed some weight though. He's getting big. Like
he's still young though. I feel like he could still grow into his body and whatnot.
I was watching his rookie year highlights, and he's just way bigger than he was 2 years ago. It's just crazy.
It was speaking of Luka, just one more thing. When he played the Warriors, the one game when they came back 21 down, it's he has the ball in his hands so much, and I mean he had some silly turnovers, but some of the turnovers he had were so bad. Like not trying to You know, he's a great player and all, but like he had like 7 turnovers in the game, but they still won. So
right.
that's
and a lot of those were in the first quarter, I believe, too.
Yeah.
He had like 4 or 5 bad passes. I know exactly what you're talking about. I was watching that game. I'm like,
where like you're like, what the hell are you doing?
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, but
I mean, you take that with the greatness. It comes with it.
Yeah. And the ball is in his he has the ball in his hands most of the time. So turnovers are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Pack my bags. I hate to say I'm leaving.
But moving on from standings, what do you think about that Philly and Nets trade?
I love it. It's one of the rare trades where it impacts both teams.
Yeah.
You don't really see that too much, but it's good. I mean, like you said earlier, when you bring in a 20 and 10 guy, and I mean Harden can definitely be 25 and 10. If it's like,
I just said 20 and 10.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, think about it. This guy averaged 36 in the league a couple years ago. So if you break that onto your team,
it's special.
Right. Already that has an MVP candidate. It's great for them. And then on top of that, Tyrese Maxey has been playing really well. That was one of the questions that like going into that trade, like how is that going to work? You know, but he's played great off the ball. Like, he's really shooting the ball well. He's shooting like I think 60-something% from 3, or maybe it might be 70 in the last 4 games.
Yeah,
obviously that's not going to
crazy.
Yeah,
it's not gonna.
Yeah, it's not going to last. But if you could keep up that efficiency without the ball in your hands, that's just great. Like,
that helps your team so much.
Right. And then for the Nets, bro, like I'm gonna say it again. I don't understand how they have the 3rd best odds to win it right now. Right? KD just came back, so they're trying to ramp him up.
He looked good. He looked
always
good in his return.
KD's always gonna look great. He came back. He's coming back from an Achilles injury. MVP candidate. Like, but I don't understand. You have 2 part-time players, right? So Kyrie this year is chalk. He's not playing in home games. They already said it. It's not going to happen. Then you got Ben Simmons, who hasn't played this year, mentally, physically, with whatever's going on, and he has 20 games to get right. I just don't see that happening. They got the play-in, so if the playoffs were to start right now, they play the Raptors. And you already
Kyrie wouldn't play. Kyrie couldn't play there.
Kyrie can't play. Exactly. Wait, that's Toronto. Yeah, so
well, they have like really strict like restrictions, like going over the border and like
right
like their COVID protocols and stuff.
Yeah, so he might not play in that game, or most likely won't play in that game. Who knows what we'll get from Ben Simmons, because the last time he touched the floor, he didn't want to shoot the ball. So I don't see him not playing, coming back and shooting 15 to 20 times or attacking the rim crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Nets, man. If they get past that, if they do make the 7 seed or 8 seed, you gotta play the Heat or 76ers in the first round. So I don't know.
It's definitely it's gonna be tough for the Nets. I like the trade though for both sides. For Philly, you get James Harden, like we said, 20 and 10 player, MVP type player when fully healthy and engaged. He's the top 10 player in the league. Pair that up with Embiid, who's MVP, top 5 MVP this year. That's a scary duo. What I loved about it was they got to keep Matisse Thybulle, who's a great defender, and then of course Maxey, who has been playing out of his mind since the trade. So I like that and they got Paul Millsap too, so a veteran big. I know they just brought in DeAndre Jordan since he got waived. So you got that pick and roll guy with DeAndre Jordan who's gonna go get lobs. Embiid's not much of a lob threat, but he's kind of in that pick and pop and kind of just like slow roll, not always to the basket for him.
Right. Yeah, we know what Harden is with a pick and roll, like a lob threat.
A lob threat. So that's gonna be big for them. Losing Ben Simmons for the 76ers defensively. So far in the 4 games that I've watched of the 76ers, they haven't been great defensively. It seems like second half they really have been able to turn it up. So defensively, I feel like that may hurt them a little bit, just for like when you're going against the Giannis's, the KD's, the more just those big time stars. Matisse Thybulle could guard him, but I feel like you always need that one other guy. So I like the trade for the net or for Philly, and then looking at the Nets, you bring in Ben Simmons. It's going to help your defense, what they need very badly. Another playmaker who could create shots for other people. That's going to be big for them. And then bringing in Seth Curry, more shooting. So the floor is going to be spaced crazy. Like it's going to be crazy for them. And then bringing in Andre Drummond too, rebounding and a little bit of defense. He's not like too much of a crazy rim protector, but going to bring in good defense, rebounding, which they need really badly. So if I'm like thinking about it, what a lineup of like Andre Drummond, Ben Simmons, KD, probably Seth and Kyrie, if their full starting five is all there, I think that would be probably their starting five. That's a good starting five, and that's a lot of space for Ben Simmons to operate, be able to get into lanes and be able to create for himself and others. Obviously, that last year playoffs was a total letdown from what he did. Like, I was pretty shocked on how it all played out. And I mean, we've talked about it a bunch. If you can't play one of your main guys who you're paying all this money to at the end of the game, you have a problem. So I hope he's been working on his game, be able to at least feel confident enough to, if he gets fouled at the end of the game, be able to go up there and feel confident and knock some free throws down.
Think about how crazy that first round series would be if the Nets get out to play in and have to play.
Yeah. And speaking on how they should feel about being in the 8th seed, you have Kevin Durant, who's a top 5 player in the league right now, but I don't know if you want to go on the road and maybe Toronto, who you may not have Kyrie. So, and then if you even get into the 7th seed, if the things don't change, he may not even be able to play. So I don't think you should feel too confident being the 8th seed. And for them to still have like really the third best odds, you said, it's pretty crazy. That's wild. So that's kind of how I feel about the whole trade. I think it was a win-win. Both teams benefited. I think more Philly, it's more a win now move, and then for the Nets, Brooklyn, it's kind of like,
it's like, okay, next year and the
year after. Like, I mean, like this year, I just said, the starting five, that's a tough starting five. But I think it's where they're positioned right now. I don't know if you you go after it because you have these guys, but it's going to be a lot more challenging for them.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough for them for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on right now with that team.
Yeah. It just sucks. And we only got to see the Nets big three for 16 games. 16, bro. Like, what? Like, if it was like, oh man, it just sucks. It just sucks.
It's frustrating, bro. It's really frustrating.
Like, I just wanted to see them hoop, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. So but there's new eras in Philly and Brooklyn, and I hope to just see some good basketball, man. I hope to see I just want to see the best product out there. So hopefully we get to see that soon. So I have a question for you, kind of going back to the standings. I'm going to ask you if you believe these teams are contenders, real contenders or not.
Okay.
I believe there's I got about like 5. I have 4 teams in the East, and then really like 2 serious contenders in the West personally. So I want to ask you about some teams and let me know if you think they're serious or not. So the Bulls, what do you think about the Bulls? Do you think they're serious? I know you were pretty high on them in the beginning of the year. How are you feeling about them now?
I'm still high on the Bulls. I just think with that personnel, right? DeRozan, Levine, Vucevic. I feel like they can get a bucket whenever they want, right? Only thing I'm worried about with Chicago is their defense. I don't know how well they'll match up with even Miami. I don't even think they match up well with Miami. But like I said, like the playoffs are all about take away the best player's best strength. You know what I mean? Game plan for that and make them do something else, which I think DeRozan can adjust for. He's been in the league for a while, and Levine I think can also do that because he can shoot the rock and he can get to the rim.
Score like so many different ways.
Right,
yeah.
right. So I mean, I'm still high on the Bulls, so I'm gonna say contender.
Okay, I like it. I just defensively, I don't really like
Right.
how they are defensively right now.
Yeah.
I know that Caruso and Lonzo are out, and Williams too, Pat
Right.
Williams.
Right.
They're all good defenders in the league. So
And Io's been playing pretty good defense too.
Yeah. No, he's been really good defensively. But yeah, I don't know how they'll match up defensively for like a lot of these bigger teams. So I don't know if they're serious contenders. I don't know if I could say it right now. I've been saying all year, I hope they surprise me. So okay, so the Grizzlies, what do you think about the Grizzlies? Do you think they're a serious contender?
Grizzlies. I want to say yeah, but I don't because they're still young. I'm gonna say contender just because I feel like they're a better team than the Bulls. But no, I'm gonna say contender. I'm gonna ride with that. They're a contender for sure.
Yeah. I think they could win a playoff series. Like if they match up. So right now they would match up
with the Nuggets.
Yeah, with the Nuggets. And I think they would beat the Nuggets right now if they matched up. I don't see them beating the Warriors or the Suns. It's kind of hard for me to do it.
Fair.
Especially their young team.
Yeah.
So right now I'm gonna say they're not contenders, but they're right there. They're knocking at the door right now. And what they've been doing this whole season, it's no surprise because they got a bunch of freaking dogs. So
yeah.
Okay, so the Celtics. What do you think about the Celtics? Do you think they're actual contenders?
Nah. No, I like the Celtics. I mean, what they're doing right now defensively favors them in the playoffs, but they're also a small team. Like even though they play really good defense, like Robert Williams is only like 6'9", you know. I mean, and then Al Horford's a really good defender at his age, but come on now, he's not guarding Embiid. He's not staying with Bam if they match up, you know, whatever. And then I don't know. I really do like the Celtics, but I'm gonna say no.
I think the Celtics could be contenders, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. You have two guys in Tatum and Brown who 20 plus points a night. They can both go for 50 any night. So that's
been there before too.
Exactly.
I see the argument.
So right now, if the playoffs started today, they would match up against the Bulls. I could totally see them beating the Bulls in a playoff series right now.
Yeah, but I could also see the Bulls beating them.
Okay, and then I think they match up pretty well against any team. I think in the league they could play big, they could play small. They play defense. Like why I don't see how they cannot be a contender. They've been there before too. So and I love the addition of Derek White for them. I think that was a big pickup for them, a guy who could shoot the ball, create for himself and others. So just boosted their bench a little bit. They're not as like they're not very deep. They're like and they play like 8 players usually. So they're not a really deep team, but I think defensively they can match up pretty well against any team in the East.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's more my reasoning for it. And then you have 2 guys who could go off any night. So depending on matchups, I could see them for sure being a contender. Like I'm not going to say right now that they would beat Philly, but why couldn't they? They like Embiid obviously is going to do his thing, but they've beaten him before in the playoffs in the past, and they've done a good job. Obviously, it's the past, and we're talking about right now when Embiid's probably at his best he's ever played in his career. But I just like their pieces, what they have around them. So that's how I feel about them. And one more, the Mavs. What do you think about the Mavs? Do you think they could be a serious contender?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I still think they need that one more guy that could really score 30 if they needed it. I mean guys can go off anytime, like catch and shoot threes from Luka. You could hit 5 or 6 of them. But I just don't see that consistently. And I think right now they would match up with Utah.
I think that'd be a hell of a playoff series. I could see Dallas winning that, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think the Mavs have enough. Like they fit around Luka for sure. They do. Yeah. But I just don't think that's enough. Like you've seen it the past 2 years with Porzingis against the Clippers. They were up 3-2 last year, and then they had it 2-2 in the bubble. Yeah, so I mean, Luka can keep them in any series, but I just don't know if it'll be enough.
Pack my bags. I hate to say I'm leaving.
It's going to be a good playoffs. Like last year, I thought the playoffs were fucking great.
Yeah.
I didn't really know who was going to win, and that's how I'm feeling right now. There's depending on matchups. I think the West is kind of a 2-man race, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
But the East, I feel like the East is wide open, and there's people are probably like an ankle roll away from doing some crazy stuff.
I mean, that's usually what it takes, like luck. Every championship run has some bit of luck in it. So
yeah, but I can't wait for it. 20 more games, more or less.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good. Bro.
And then even looking at the plan right now, the plan would be pretty crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy for sure. So moving on from there, my Warriors lately have been struggling. They're one of the teams who I would say are one of the favorites to win. 3-10 in their last 11 or last 3. I'm sorry, 3-7. That didn't add up.
Yeah, I was like, hold on.
3-7 in their last 10. Defensively, they've been really bad. Steph Curry's been pretty streaky. It's been hard to watch. Jordan Poole, their whole team's just been kind of streaky right now. The reason why I'm not too down on them, one is because I didn't expect them to be a number 2 seed this year.
Anyway,
yeah. So what they're doing is already, it's already enough for me. Like they're playing good basketball. I had them as a 4 seed coming into the year, so they're sitting at the 2 seed. They're not far from the 4 seed, which is a little nerve-wracking, but it's all right.
If they keep going at this pace, they'll be right there at 5.
But they haven't had Draymond for a long time. I think his importance is on full display on how important he is to the Warriors, what they do offensively, getting guys easier shots, being the playmaker for them. And then defensively, they've been really, really bad defensively lately. So I'm not too worried about them. I want to see the Warriors play good basketball because I'm a fan, and when they lose, it's shitty. And I get to see all the Twitter stuff about firing Steve Kerr and how
Yeah.
bad of a coach Steve Kerr is.
Hey,
And all this
Warriors
stuff.
Twitter is toxic. I
Yeah,
thought Lakers Twitter and whatever was bad, but Warriors Twitter is terrible.
Yeah, they be chatting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, they just be talking, bro. I don't know.
But yeah, so they're just really bad right now. They play the Lakers tonight, Saturday night, prime time. LeBron and Steph always usually it's usually a good game. I don't remember too many games where either team has like blown each other out. I can't remember. Well, last year the Warriors were pretty bad. I remember they blew them out last year pretty bad, actually. But for the most part, it's usually close games. But what do you think about the Warriors right now?
Yeah, I think like you said, the glaring piece right now is Draymond. But I still don't think that's everything right now. Like the defense is not going to improve drastic. It's not going to improve more drastic than it is dropped off.
I mean, the Warriors had like a top 5 defense before he went out. I'd have to look up the number, but I'm sure they're not even in like the top 15 during the time he's been out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just don't see it. They'll definitely be better, and they'll definitely be the Warriors.
And he was like damn near the favorite to win defensive player of the year before he got hurt. So
yeah, he was like second or third or something like that.
He was a big factor. So but continue. No. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you good. But yeah, they need Draymond back. Wiggins hasn't played like an all-star. That's something. I saw something where I think I sent it to you yesterday or the day before.
45% from the free throw line, right?
45% from the free throw line in the past 20 games.
Yeah.
That can't happen.
Yeah.
Right. And then I see just Steph didn't take any shots in the fourth quarter against the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Like that's not Warriors basketball. You know what I mean? That's just the complete opposite of what they have been. And I mean, they're going to get it together, but they'll be all right. If they matched up right now with any of the playing teams, I think that's 4-1 at the most.
Yeah.
And then they'd probably have to play the winner of the Grizzlies and Nuggets. That's if the playoffs started now. And then I think they'll get past them too. So yeah, I think it's just a 2-man race between them and the Suns right now.
Yeah.
Want to see Chris Paul back healthy.
Yeah.
And I think he should be. I think the timetable is set for like the first round. He's supposed to be back.
Yeah.
Which they should easily handle the first round, whoever they play.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Warriors, they'll be okay. They just need Draymond back. But we'll see. I think it's a hamstring injury, right?
No, it was like a calf strain, but then it like went into like his back or something like that. So it's like pinching something in his back. He said he'll be back within the next couple of weeks. I really hope so. We never got to see Clay, Draymond, Steph, and Iguodala play all together.
Iguodala too. What's going on with him?
I don't know what's good with him. He's been practicing though, so that's a good sign. And then James Wiseman's been practicing a little bit too, doing contact and stuff like that. So I hope I want to see every team healthy. Like, yeah, I want to see the Warriors healthy just because I'm a fan of what they do and all that. But I want to see every team healthy once the playoffs come around, because I don't really like the playoff runs when people are injured and stuff. It takes away from the joy. So I hope every team could get healthy and we see the best basketball out there. So moving on, the MVP race. It's one of the better MVP races that I could remember these last couple of years. I think right now there's like 5 people who you could really say you can make a solid argument for them being the MVPs. I know we had the same list, so I'll list off the people. So in no order, this is in no order, people. So I got the Jokic. They're the 6th seed right now, 25, 13.8. So basically 14 rebounds and 7.9 assists.
25, 14, and 8, basically.
Yeah, and that's coming from your center. And we know the Nuggets story this year. They've been injured. Their number 2 and 3 guy with Porter Jr. Jamal Murray and Porter Jr. both out. What he's been able to do to get them to the 6th seed is very, very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And his numbers speak for itself as well. So what do you think about, or what do you think about him? And then I'll keep naming off the guys.
Yeah, just real quick, he's doing what he's been doing. Yeah, I mean, good chance to win it again. I think he has leverage. I mean, like you said, the 2 and 3 guys have been out, and for him to be 6 right now, playing good ball, it speaks a lot. So yeah, pretty good chance.
And they're only like a couple games. Well, they're 1 game behind the Mavericks right now. Mm-hmm. So to be in that spot right there, I think that's pretty impressive. And I don't think the Nuggets would be nearly as good without him. So, so of course we were talking about him earlier. Joel Embiid. I said Joel. Joel Embiid. 29.8. So basically 30 points a game, 11 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and they're the number 2 seed right now. And majority of that was obviously without James Harden, no Simmons the whole year. So what he's been able to do, it's been crazy. Just reading off those names, the big men are back, man. The big men are back to doing their thing in the league.
Those are the top 2 right now. I would say. Big men are back. Yeah, I think they're top 2. I mean, Giannis is there, but
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then like I was about to get to Giannis, 29, 11 and a half rebounds a game, 6 assists. And right now he's damn near the favorite for defensive player of the year too. They're the 3 seed. I love what Giannis brings to the table every night. So he's going to be in the discussion for MVP for the next, he's 27. Yeah. So next 5 to 7 years. So he's been doing is impressive. Definitely deserves some recognition and MVP consideration.
On top of that, I think he has the best player efficiency rating ever as we stand right now.
Right now. Yeah.
So
it's crazy. And then DeMar DeRozan, what he's been able to bring to the Bulls.
My city love me like DeMar DeRozan.
Yep. Yeah. He's been cooking. Fourth quarter has been, they call him the king of the fourth in Chicago. They're the 4th seed right now, 28, 5 and 5. Just efficient as fuck. He had that streak. You know, he's in talks with Wilt Chamberlain for 35 plus and 50% from the field. So whenever you're
Chamberlain, right? Yeah.
Whenever you're in, in those talks, you got to be recognized. And he's definitely in the MVP race. The Bulls, they turned around a lot this year. So what he's been doing is impressive as hell. And then Ja Morant, I think he deserves some talk too. 27, 27.6, basically 6 rebounds and 6.5 assists. The 3 seed right now. What he's been doing right now, it's been pretty crazy. And he's young as hell. I think the Grizzlies, they keep winning. They don't know any better. They're just going out there hooping.
They're going out there hooping.
Yeah. And what he's been able to just bring for their team has been crazy. My only downside is they had that stretch when he was out and they were like still cooking. Like the Grizzlies they're a really good team, but that doesn't take the, Ja is their main guy, but they still were able to win without him. So that's like if I had like one, like, that's my only issue. That would be my only problem. But what he's been doing has been crazy and he needs some love. So he's definitely in that discussion.
Definitely.
And then I would I don't have his numbers written down, unfortunately, but Luka is definitely in talks too. It's like a one-man show over there with he's like David Ruffin wanted the David Ruffin and the Temptations. It's like Luka and the Mavericks. No diss to the Mavericks.
Luka and the Mavericks.
Yeah. But what he's been able to do is definitely crazy. And he just put together a crazy month of February.
Yeah.
So I think this MVP race, I think every week for me, it changes. Like I could see an argument for all these guys. When it comes down to it, though, I think the first three guys who I named, I think ultimately it will come down to them.
Pack my bags. I hate to say I'm leaving.
You never know, like when two MVP candidates get together. So like Harden right now, would it be
how that may affect it? Yeah.
But I
don't think it will though.
Yeah, he played 60 games without him, so I think we got a good look at Embiid without another, Harden. So it shouldn't affect them, but yeah, we'll see, man. It's probably the tightest race we've seen in a while.
Yeah,
there's so many guys, and then on top of that, with the standings too, like this is probably the most parity. Last year was okay, like we had like the favorites, like okay, the Nets, and then the West. I don't know, I don't know. But yeah, this year can go whatever, man. It's so many good teams.
Yeah. Which it just makes it great. It makes watching every night of basketball a little bit better. Yeah, and makes me feel better for not leaving my house to watch basketball. All right, so moving on. Top 5 of the week. You guys already know how this is. Start us off.
Okay. This was a tough top 5 to do. Like I feel like I missed a couple teams I should have put in.
Yeah.
The teams that are in, I don't know if I should have brought them out. So yeah, number 5, I got the number 1 team in the East. That's Miami. I know we talk about the week, but I mean they won 10 out of 12 overall. Couple good wins at Brooklyn, and then against Chicago. So yeah, I got Miami here. They've been banged up. Like I feel like I never know when Kyle Lowry's going to play. It's weird.
Yeah.
But PJ's been out. Jimmy just missed the last game. So I mean they're fluctuating rosters, and for them to still be where they are, I got them here.
Yeah. So this is tough. I had Memphis originally, but like thinking about it, I think I got the Mavs right now, number 5.
Okay.
They're 8-2 their last 10. This past week they beat the Warriors 2 times and the Lakers. And like I said, like the way Luka, how he closed out those games, it was just really impressive with going at Curry and LeBron James, like kind of saying, yo, like
this my
I'm
league,
here. Yeah, like I'm here, and you guys are gonna have to see me. So it was cool to see, and they've been playing really good basketball. So yeah, I got Dallas number 5.
Yeah, Memphis is also one of my teams that I was thinking about, but I was like, I don't know. Okay, number 4, I got the Bucks, 39-25, won 3 straight. Good win, or good 2 wins against Miami and Chicago. That's twice I've said Chicago now. So, but yeah, we talked about Giannis, talked about what they do, and I mean that big 3. I don't. Until you beat them, what you gonna say? So
yeah, I like it.
I got the Bucks here 4.
I got the Celtics number 4, 8-2 in the last 10. This past week they beat the Hawks and the Grizzlies. 2 good wins. They beat them both pretty easily.
Both on TNT too.
Yeah. So they've been playing good basketball, good defense. Number 1 defense since January 1st. They're playing good basketball at the right time. So I just like what I've been seeing from them.
Yeah, for that reason you said, I got them 3, best defensive rating, 38-27. They've beaten, like you said, Memphis and Atlanta back-to-back games. Yeah, they're playing well. So yeah, I got them at 3.
All right. I got the Heat number 3.
Okay.
8-2 the last 10. Seems like all these teams are 8-2 in their last 10. They beat the Nets and the Bulls, like you said. And then the L that they took, like we mentioned it earlier, they blew that one. They gave that one away. The Bucks definitely stole that one. So I just like what they're able to do with the people in and out of the lineups. They're getting the most out of everyone. Defensively, they some dogs. So I just like where they're at right now. So.
All right. Number 2, I got Luka and the Mavs.
Wow.
Yeah, I got them. I mean, 38-25. They won 9 out of 11. They beat Golden State twice. Along that stretch, they beat Miami in Miami.
Yeah, that was a good ass win by them.
Yeah. So yeah, I got them here too. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I got Philly number 2, 8-2 in their last 10. They beat the Knicks 2 times. I mean, it's the Knicks, nothing special, but they had a good comeback win last night against the Cavaliers. That was a good win by them. So I want to see them when they start playing some better competition. Tonight they play the Heat. I hope everyone on the Heat is relatively healthy. I hope I see Butler, PJ Tucker. I don't know if Kyle Lowry will be in the lineup or not. I haven't seen anything about it, but it should be a good test for them. So to see where they're at. So yeah, I got them number 2.
Okay. I got Philly, City of Brotherly Love, number 1, 39-23. I mean, you talked about who they beat. They also beat Minnesota in that stretch. It was
yeah. Oh yeah,
team.
they did.
And then they won 5 straight, 4 straight since the trade, right? So I like them a lot. I like Philly a lot. So yeah, I got them 1.
Wow, that's shocker. I have the Suns number 1 still. Best record in the league, 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah.
They beat the Knicks last night. That was a hell of a win. Comeback win without D-Book and Chris Paul. That's impressive. Beat the Blazers. The Blazers, they play hard, but they're not very competitive. They lost to the Jazz they had a chance to possibly to make it a lot.
That was a Jay Crowder game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Jay Crowder it was a silly play by him. So to be able to still play good basketball when your 2 main guys are out, it's going to be beneficial for them moving forward. Guys are going to be feeling real confident. So you bring in Chris Paul and Devin Booker back into the equation, it's going to be spooky. So yeah.
Pack my bags. I hate to say I'm leaving.
And that's a wrap for episode 9 of the 2-Man Game podcast. Once again, I'm KC. This is Dante. If you made it this far, we really, really appreciate it. Like he said in the beginning of the episode, we're about to start getting into a good flow again. We really enjoy being able to give our insights and our thoughts on this. So, yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
That's it, baby.
Pack my bags. I hate to say I'm leaving, but that's my ride.